Mom. Dad. Juliet. Neve. Hey everybody, and welcome back.
What up?
We are 2 weeks in a row back on. I was thinking of this. We went 6 weeks in a row and then we were away, so we didn't get to put an episode out. And I think we should start a counter. And it's, you know, those when you're at work, counters like days since last accident.
Yeah.
It'll be ours is days since last missed podcast.
So how many days
Sorry,
is ours?
weeks.
How
We're
many
doing
weeks?
works. This is week 2.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah,
We're doing well.
We're doing
ourselves.
pretty well here. Yeah, I mean 2 weeks without an accident.
Yeah, I'd say so for sure.
So hello, how are you doing?
Hi, my name's Neve.
Hi, Neve. Good to meet you. I should be saying welcome back to PanCake Friday. I forgot to say the theme of our show.
I'm always excited.
Or the name of our show.
PanCake Friday.
Me too. I got some pancakes. Do you?
I've got 3 pancakes.
I'd love to hear your pancakes to start because I've got a whole lot of pancake.
Okay, mine will probably go by pretty quick because they're just stuff that pops into my head when I'm just at home all day, right? I'm on mat leave, so it's just like random shit that pops into my head. And I don't think a lot, so... Okay.
Don't say that. That's not fair.
Right. Number 1. So, as you may or may not know, a new season of Love Island has aired. And you probably know because I normally have it on when you come home or whatever. So, Love Island UK has just become available on Prime.
Ooh, that's dangerous.
And it's like
all
live.
of them, or the...
Quite a few of them, I think.
Nice.
But it's like live, right? So it'll air in the UK on like the Thursday night, and then it'll be available on the Friday to watch here.
No, please stop.
But anyway, so I watch them as they come out, right? It's something I can do with, like, it's something to look forward to for me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna watch my episode of Love Island, but the thing is, I'm always doing stuff while it's on because it's like a background show, you know? It's not like I have to sit and watch this. It's just on while I'm like, I don't know, doing dishes or getting lunch for baby, whatever. So why on Prime Video, when you end an episode and there isn't another one, it just starts playing like the most random shit?
Really?
Like the most random shit. Like there was it started playing a movie called Colony, which is like a action like alien movie or some shit. I don't know. I didn't watch it. I just like all of a sudden I'm like putting laundry in and I come back and I like leave like where I'm at, I leave it and they're like, and the person getting voted out of Love Island is, and then I go do laundry and I come back and it's like aliens getting shot at by some sort of astronauts, and I'm just like, where's the algorithm, Prime? Like,
well, I mean, to be fair, wait, is this your Prime or my Prime?
My Prime.
Oh yeah, that is weird because I was gonna say that movie sounds right up my alley.
But no, it's just, I don't know, it's just really stupid. Like, there's no kind of correlation, and it just plays.
Well, have you ever done that? You fall asleep watching YouTube, and let's say you're watching, like for me, I'm watching a soccer video, okay? But it's not like a 30-second video. So let's say it's like a hour, half hour or something, right? And then I fall asleep, and you wake up the next morning, and you look, and your YouTube, you're like, what the fuck is this? And it's like literally nothing at all to do with anything I would ever like associate myself with. And you're just like, how does the algorithm get you there over like 4, 5, 6 hours?
Yeah, that's what
crazy.
I mean. It's like it's just really dumb.
Yeah.
So that was one of my things. Yeah. Another one things. Who the fuck invented aqua wipes?
What are aqua wipes?
So when we're changing diapers, we have the baby wipes.
Oh yeah.
And you know the aqua wipes were the really
the watery.
Yeah. And they're like no chemical, but like they're the worst wipes ever. Because
they're dry?
They're dry as fuck, and like they don't do anything. And I was just like, who the fuck thought of this? They're completely useless.
Well, they're 99% water, 1% aloe?
Yeah,
is that
something like that.
Okay, first off, sorry, I'm going to go on a little tangent here because this is a bone I got to pick with packaging.
Okay.
What the hell is 99% water, 1% aloe? Like, does that actually get measured out? And what does that look like? Is it like one little drop, or I don't know?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like there might be ways to measure it, but at the same time, I'm just like, what's the fucking point? Like, I could just get a dishcloth and do that.
Well, yeah, that's the weird thing.
Just put water
it's
on
just
it.
literally water, so it makes sense why it's shitty because it's just water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's really shitty.
No, I did notice that too. Actually, they
right?
just I went to grab them. I was like, oh, these are dry. Right
yeah.
away. Yeah.
And when you're trying to like wipe up a baby poop, it's just way less than ideal.
Yeah, it's true. What are they called?
Aqua wipes.
Okay, so Aqua Wipes, we actually
Boycott.
we're boycotting you,
Boycotting Aqua
and
Wipes.
we are not accepting any sponsorship deals from you. But if you send stuff our way, we could be swayed.
If you bribe us, we'll give in.
We are not above bribery here on the show.
Definitely not above bribery.
Right on.
Yeah.
And you got another one, you said?
Oh, and the last one was just like, why don't people end their books anymore when they write them?
Okay, well,
the past 3 books I've read have just had like really bad endings, and everyone thinks they're being like so unique by like ending your book like, ooh, we'll never know. But in reality, that's kind of just every book now. So it's pretty disappointing.
Do you want to explain a little more of that?
So, okay, so
spoiler alert.
The past 3 books that I've read, spoiler alert here. So I read Anna Karenina, and then I read Wuthering Heights, and now I've just finished listening to
Thank you.
The Handmaid's Tale. And all 3 of them just have really, like, bad endings. Like, Anna Karenina, she just goes, okay, spoiler, she just goes super fucking crazy and then jumps in front of a train.
She's Russian?
Like, okay, yeah. And then Wuthering Heights was just like a bullshit story, like pointless anyway, and it just kind of ends like, and this happened.
When was Wuthering Heights published?
Oh, Wuthering Heights is like
super old, right?
Yeah, like 1700.
I feel like the reason a book like that might be like not notorious. What's the word for it? Super famous.
Yeah.
I don't know, what is that the word you say for books?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, so like I feel like it's like the farther you go back, the more basic writing is to be impressive, because isn't the whole thing just writing about them living in a house?
Yes, it is. But Anna Karenina was older than that.
Oh, okay.
So I don't think that's an excuse. Because Anna Karenina is super detailed and like informative and everything.
Well, you should say, I feel like you should just retell the story you just told me, because that's, I think, the one that's really got you cheesed.
That's The Handmaid's Tale. So I literally just about 10 minutes ago, while Derek was having a bath, was listening to the end of The Handmaid's Tale. And it literally... It's like, basically the whole thing is meant to be kind of like Anne Frank's diary, but you've muted yourself.
Oh.
It's meant to be like Anne Frank's diary, but in like a kind of post-apocalyptic, not apocalyptic, post-Civil War U.S. Kind of run state, I guess.
What time period is it then? Is it like the turn of the 18th century? Or
No. I think it's the
19th century.
20.
Oh, it's like
20th. It's the end of the 1900s.
Oh, okay.
That this is meant to have taken place. But the ending is just like it's literally like when Anne Frank gets taken out of the attic and just stops writing. Yeah. It's all like kind of like found footage, but a book, and then she gets taken away from where she's recording, so she doesn't have any more.
Oh, I see. I didn't get that part before. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just is what it is. I guess because it's a pretty famous book, is it not? Yeah.
Made it into a Netflix show, so it must be good.
Yeah, it must be good. It's fun fact, actually. The book turned into a TV series was shot in Toronto. Now, why is that fun? Because we're in Canada, and Canada capital city is, you guessed it, Toronto.
Toronto is not the capital of Canada.
Yeah, sorry, it's Ottawa. Well, I'll be damned.
Wait, how did I know that and you didn't?
No, I did know that. I was just testing you.
You're the Canadian one here.
Sorry, Toronto's the center of the universe.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I got some things I gotta say here.
Okay,
So I got a question for you. Okay. If you wear your shoes in the water, are they water shoes? Like, what does it take to be considered a water shoe?
This is actually, I'm glad you brought this up.
Yeah.
Because for a while, I've been looking into getting some water shoes because Derek and I live on one side of a river. And we often go to the other side of the river. But it takes some effort to get across unless you can just go like directly walk through the river because it's not super deep. So I was thinking about getting some water shoes to do that. But then I found I had this like old pair of fabric shoes and I was like, you know what? These could be water shoes. So that's what I did. And now they're water shoes.
Well, I'm glad you got very excited about that because that's what brought it up. I did get really excited. Because Neve has like, I don't know how they're basically like slip-on boots, right?
They're like fabric. Those like sock shoes.
Yeah, they kind of remind me of like a soccer boot kind of in a style. Like there's soccer boots that have no laces and you slip them on.
Yeah.
And when you slip them on, it looks very similar, but just with like cleats on the bottom.
Yeah.
So yeah, I come in and I'm walking the dog, and Neve told me this story about her water shoes and blah blah blah. And then I see those, and I was like, in my head, I was like, are those water shoes though? And then I was like, but all it really takes to be a water shoe is a shoe that's gone in water. Like that's the definition of a water shoe.
And honestly, with the heat, they keep my feet cool because the water is cold.
Yeah.
And then they dry off and they don't rub.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
those are the main things, right?
I use a pair of my shoes, my Nike ones out there, not water shoes. So.
You do?
Yeah.
Well, this is news to me.
Well, yeah, because I mean, I wasn't walking around bragging about it. I was just living the life of a guy that used to.
No, but you could at least have like given me an idea of that's something I could do. I didn't know I could do this until I did it.
Oh yeah, no, I've always known that, but like I've grown up on rivers.
Let me in on this
like me and my friends used to just go up and down the river in Lynn Valley, like trekking, and so you just jumping in your shoes.
I've literally talked to you for so long about getting a pair of like Vessies, like waterproof shoes, and never once have you said to me, Neve, why don't you just wear your shoes in the water?
Yeah, because because I
do
think you like a good pair of like actual, like, I wouldn't say Vessies, because Vessies, the point of them are they're supposed to be waterproof, right?
Oh, yeah.
I would get like, there's shoes you can get, they're like water shoes, and personally I like shoes that are super low profile, so like thin bottom, so you can almost feels like you're gripping but you're not actually on the ground. And it's like you're supposed to want shoes that can grip with like wider toe boxes supposedly, but I like them like narrow pointed. So water shoes do that, but so I wouldn't say like not get a pair. That's why I was like, when you're saying, I was like, yeah, I like water shoes are pretty sick, but you can do what you did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I prefer my version because then I don't have to buy new shoes.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna redo off our intro here. I'm a little upset with myself, to be honest with you.
Why?
Because I wanted to say a really cool intro, like what we got going on the show today, but I got excited and just went into talking.
That's okay. Let's take it back.
So let's take it back a second here. On today's show,
we didn't say any
on today's show, we're happy to be back, and Derek and Neve have interesting topics to talk about. Mayhem on the sea bus. Saturday downtown was a mess. If you think electric skateboards are cool, they are not. We have another episode of Buy and Sell, and last week that's it. Welcome back.
That was a great intro.
Okay, so that's going to lead me into my next note here. Where is it? Electric skateboards aren't cool. Period.
Yeah, no.
So,
what are they, like hoverboards, or are they like a different thing?
No, like picture like an e-bike or e-scooter. I'd say it's more like, because e-scooter you have to like kick with your foot. So, and it's a skateboard, but you have a little like gun handle, like a remote control handle gun thing, and it's like you squeeze it and it makes you go forward. If you push it out, it's like the remote control cars, but you stand on your skateboard. And so me and Neve the other day, I can't remember where we were. Do you remember? I saw that dude on his, and I was just like, yeah, that's so fucking dumb.
Wasn't that when you went downtown?
That's what it was. Yeah. So me and Neve.
I didn't go downtown.
No, but we were heading. So me and Neve were going to Waterfront Park to celebrate our friend Steph Cooper's birthday.
Yeah.
And then I was going to leave from there to go to this bachelor party for my other friend. And on the way there, we're parking, and I see some dude, and he's. We were in the park. That's what it was. No, sorry. We were in the park at Steph's actual party, and we're at Waterfront Park, and I see this dude on the grass, and he's ripping on a skateboard, and it's obviously raised up with a bit bigger wheels, but it looks like a pretty normal skateboard. And I realized, like, wait, what the? Oh, he's on an E1. And right away I was like, that's just so dumb. Like, it's so dumb. It's a skateboard is cool. Skateboarding's super cool, like doing kickflips and shit. And even longboarding, I don't think longboarding's the coolest, but like I respect it. But an electric skateboard is so dumb. And that it's even dumber than the one-wheeled skateboards. I hate those too, but they're not as dumb as an electric skateboard.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm just saying. I think they're stupid.
Yeah, they're like I don't really see the point. Also, that dude that has like a one-wheel bike. Oh, unicycle.
Yes,
he's always a Marine.
One-wheeled bicycle. The unicycle.
No, we've seen him on Marine Drive. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and he like rips so hard.
And then when it gets to a stoplight, he like hops.
Yeah, okay, actually, does anyone know that guy? If you know the unicycle guy, can you get
Tell
us...
him I love him.
Whoa.
Tell him, no, I'm his biggest fan.
Oh, okay.
That's where I was going.
Tell him we please, like, give us his contact info, because we would love to have him on the show, and the whole time we just grill him about, we're like, why do you feel like it's necessary to use a unicycle?
Can we also make him do the interview at a stoplight, so he has to, like, constantly bounce?
And we're just moving the bike up the whole time. Like, hey, can you stop? He's like, no, why do we have to do it on the unicycle? Wow, yeah, okay, that actually, I'm glad we kind of talked about the skateboard to get into that. What makes you, like, I don't know, it's just, you know how everyone, like, everything you do, I guess you're trying to, like, impress people, or you're, like, I don't know, I shouldn't say everything you do, but, like, you do things and, like, they're impressive, you show off your skills. What possesses you to be like, I'm going to be a person that unicycles to work? Like, why is that your thing?
Yeah. Probably half the price of a bicycle.
But so much more effort. So
didn't you get that half the price, half the wheels? It was really fun. I was like, can you just let my joke linger a bit longer? Because I thought that was hilarious. Anyway, I don't know what would possess anyone to get one of those. It's the same reason as, like, when you see people biking and they're in, like, full bike gear. And I know that if you, like, bike a long distance, it's probably better to wear full bike gear, but, like, when men especially wear those, like, super tight, like, bike shorts with, like, cushion in the bum.
Oh, with the cushion in the bum?
I'm just like...
Yeah, it's not a good look.
I'm like, who told you that was, like, an appropriate thing to wear in public? And I've seen guys before as well, like, if I'm driving behind a guy and those bike shorts are see-through as fuck and I can see his whole fucking ass crack, and I'm like, that is just... I'm like, I'm sure your wife is cheating on you. Like,
how do you know that?
I
don't know. I'm assuming with those shorts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is, like, I respect it in terms of if you're a biker, like, that's your thing. Like, I know some people that bike, so I don't want to disrespect them.
I want to disrespect them.
Okay, that's fine. You can, but, like, but I do agree. Like, I don't know. If you're showing up at because the new trend, it seems to be, is people that do, like, distance sports. So, like, if you're biking in a bike gang, or if you're running in a running crew, or
I love how you say bike gang.
I don't know.
It just sounds like it's the Hells Angels.
It's Hells Angels, but all they do is they just exercise. They're like,
all they do is exercise with butt pads.
With butt pads, they're like, we're basically the Hells Angels, but if they were just people that bike from bar to bar with bike gear on, bicycle gear. No, like, it's the new thing seems to be you do, like, your long distance activity, but it's to a bar.
Yeah.
So if you show up at, like, a bar after doing your bike with your bike gang and you're, like, flexing on someone like, yo, what's up, girl? And you got those shorts on, there's something wrong with you.
Well, I also just don't believe that anybody that is doing that is, like, going to the bar to flex on people. Or I can't imagine that's something that someone thinks is a good idea, you know?
Let's throw on our pad bike shorts and go
I'm
flex on people.
If you're doing that and then finishing at a bar to go and hit on women, and you're really doing life wrong. Like, that's just, no, don't do
All
that.
right, so I guess I shouldn't start a bicycle gang called the pedal heads and show up at bars hitting on girls.
You can do that, but I guarantee your result will be like 0 women. Or like really fucking weird women.
We're moving on from this topic because that's rude. I think we could all agree that the easiest way to get women is roll up in bike shorts. Okay. So I wanna change it up a little bit here.
Let's go.
This is a bit of a more like psychological thing.
Oh God.
Okay? So the show The Traitors.
Yes.
For those of you that haven't seen it, it's a game show or a reality TV show, or is it a game show?
I think a bit of both. Yeah.
Yeah. So like they lock them, or there's 20 people or something, and they put them 26 people, and they put them in a castle in Scotland together, and three of them, I believe, are traitors.
Yeah, it depends on the season, but like
generally it's 3.
It's 3 or 4,
and they're selected at the very start. And what happens is they'll do challenges. If they win, they get money, and then they go to a round table, and they have to decide who they think is the traitor, and then they all vote, and whoever at the end is voted out has to announce if they're a traitor or a faithful.
Yeah.
So then after that round, that night, the traitors meet and they kill someone. And then the next day you wake up, someone's gone, and then you start the cycle again. So you have to figure it out. So, excuse me, what I want to bring up that is I find really interesting is the main thing is the idea of lying. Okay?
Yeah.
So on this show, there's always the people that, the traitors, it's weird because if you get caught, you lose. But as much as they get caught and they lose, they always are resoundingly like so relieved to be able to not lie to everyone.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because what you notice is at the start, the traitors are always so like, yeah, let's do this. This is so fun. But it's like as everyone else gets to be themselves and be their honest, truthful selves, it starts eating at them to lie. So what do you think of that? Just thoughts.
No, like I think completely like that would definitely be a thing. It's very easy when you're like sat at home from your sofa being like, oh, I could do that, no problem. But the reality of actually being deceitful is like a really horrible thing to do.
It's stressful.
I'm not gonna be like hypocritical and be like I've never been deceitful. I 100% have. But I think that's having done that in the past has made me who I am today in terms of, that sounded so inspirational, made me who I am today. But it's like, but it's made me now one of my like top moral points of myself is that I will not lie. And I don't lie. And I don't like lying, and I don't like liars. But I've been there, so I can't be like hypocritical and be like, oh no, I've never lied in my life. Like I have a ton.
Yeah.
But I think when you lie to people, it really does kind of take away from your sense of yourself. Because if you lie like continuously, you can start believing lies.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, you can make yourself think that something happened, and you kind of get lost in a sense of reality.
Oh yeah,
of like what's real and what you've made up and what you've said to who, and it just becomes like a whole clusterfuck. And that's why now I'm like, I won't lie, because I can tell you, like, if someone comes up to me and is like, oh, like you said this, I can tell you 100% if I like said it or not, because
Yeah.
I don't lie, and I wouldn't lie about it, and I'm not gonna lie to the person if I've said something. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, I can be 100% honest at all times because I won't tell a lie.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, I like, if I don't like someone, I'll be like, no, I don't like them.
Yeah.
Or like, no, I don't like you. Like, if someone's like, oh, I heard you don't like me, I'll be like, no.
Yeah. I have seen her do this before. Yeah, I don't know. It's just I honestly can't remember. I had a few of my notes are janky because I was in the middle of doing stuff, so they're like kind of incomplete thoughts. But that I can't remember where I was going with that. But it was something along just the veins. I want to say it was more we were watching Big Brother, and it reminded me of Cody from that.
Well, no, I mean that's the thing though. When you're constantly misleading people, it eats up at you, and then you can like lose it.
Yeah.
And lose yourself.
Okay, so I've got an interesting fun fact for you.
Okay.
Did you know maps used to say Vancouver Island was part of California? Or not, like, let me rephrase that. Did you know that Vancouver Island used to be part of California?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, 1700s. So
really?
a long time ago. And then have you heard of the Oregon Dispute of 1846?
No, I've heard of the Oregon Trail.
Okay, well, that's actually pretty cool. But this is the Oregon Dispute of 1846. Now, as someone that knows so much about Canadian history, obviously, as I pointed out, the capital city of Toronto, I obviously knew about the 1846 Oregon Dispute.
Of course. Which isn't even in Canada.
No, but it was the making of Canada, so naturally I would have my fingers in the game.
Right.
So I guess basically California used to be the whole coastline, and then Oregon and
Washington.
Oregon first. Washington came later, I believe. But Oregon, basically, when it was the British and the Americans, they started like disputing, or they were battling, I guess, and they were disputing all this.
Classic,
and
man.
so, anyhow, when the dispute was ended, the Oregon Dispute of 1846, the border was made between Canada, or like I guess Vancouver, and what is now Washington State.
Yeah.
But prior to that, Vancouver Island had been part of California, and then the newly formed Washington State, or Oregon, pardon, the newly formed Oregon was made, and with that, the British said, like, no, we have Vancouver Island.
Classic British Americans are just always fighting about something.
Like, hey, you.
Hey, you, buddy.
You're kind of like us.
No, I didn't know that. That's really interesting. So do you know what happened to the citizens of the island? Did they just, like, automatically become Canadians, or did they have to, like, pop the fuck out of there?
No, because I think as of this point,
probably no one was living there.
They're still
really.
just British.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Oh yeah. Everyone was British.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
You're all British.
Hello there, governor.
Pip, cheerio. It's really funny because I'm not even really British.
Are you sure you want to say that?
Well, like DNA-ly.
Okay, fair.
D-anally. I'm not.
D-anally. It's not Dana usually. Or Dana.
D-anally. D-N-A-anally. D-N-anally.
Oh, okay.
That should be a word if it's not. I'm trademarking it.
And I'm suing Elon Musk. You heard it here first on the pod.
DNA-anally. I am 1.7% English.
Huh.
So no one can call me a colonizer.
Oh my! this is what this is all about. Getting the heat off you.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm Jew. Hey, we had it bad.
Yeah, you are 50% Jew, basically.
50% Jew.
Okay, this is one that Skywalker, A Love Story, that movie on Netflix.
Didn't he kiss his sister?
What?
Wait, what?
The movie we watched, the doc, Skywalker.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Luke Skywalker.
I think he did kiss his sister, so you are right. Yeah, he did kiss his sister.
Like you said Skywalker, and I was just like, Luke.
He banged his sister for sure.
No, well,
Let's
speculatively.
be real here. Okay, you're space cowboys, and you've been and you've been held captive on the Death Star,
and you're not gonna bang your sister.
You kiss her, and you don't know it's your sister at this point. Okay, me for sure. Yeah, okay, I'm sure that's. And Han Solo's like, we have 20 light years until we get to this place. What should we do? And Luke's like, just kiss Leia. He's like, let's just all hang out. Right, sure, I believe that. Okay, no, so there's a new documentary on Netflix called Skywalker: A Love Story.
Yeah.
I can't. This movie, I'd highly recommend watching.
It was really good. Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, there's a thing called roof-topping. Roof-toppers.
Roof-topping.
It's called roof-topping, I believe, and it's it's literally, those people, it's like mostly Russians, but there is other people, but they climb to the very top of skyscrapers, and then they go out on the scaffolding or the cranes, and they hang by one hand and take a selfie. So that's what roof-topping is, and this is a story about, I guess, the two best, would you say, in the world?
Well, I guess so. Yeah, I mean, I guess they're the. I don't know enough about.
I don't know.
They're the best, but they made a documentary.
Like yeah, so, they at least they've got to be at the top level of it, and so it's really weird. So there's few things I want to go over. First, I think I'm just going to talk about the movie, and then we're going to kind of talk about the undertones of like how it was made. So
yeah.
So it's about them trying to climb the highest mega tower that's being built for a long time or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. And so the documentary starts and it shows them in a scene in the like doing their ascent of it, and then it cuts to the start, and they're like influencers, so they record everything in their lives. Like the thing that's weird is you're watching a documentary, but it was made before they were making a documentary, just by them how much they record themselves.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're like, let's record a documentary and start doing this. They were doing this shit, and now here they are like 10 years later or whatever, and it's like a documentary. They have that much footage of themselves from the very beginning.
Yeah.
Which I think, to me, that's just so fucking bizarre. But we'll come back to that. But the thing, I'm not going to spoil too much of it, but it's really cool to see these people. Like, the one dude is actually like, he could break into a bank, it feels like. Not literally, but he's like that. Like, he goes and he scouts out these places, and he's like, we found the securities off at this time, and if we do this, it's super cool. And
he gets all the blueprints and shit. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's super crazy. And they have like, so it's like kind of like a heist movie in a way. And then they film everything in their 4K 60 frames per second GoPros when they're climbing, and some of the heights are staggering. Yeah,
me and Derek literally got motion sick just from watching it on TV. Like it literally made me almost want to throw up.
Yeah,
it was
nauseating.
Horrible. It was. Yeah, but also like I couldn't take my eyes.
Yeah, and as much as it, because they're doing this all free climb, and I don't know, even the stuff that would be easy, like where they're just climbing a ladder, but they're climbing a ladder on the outside of a building 120 stories up, or like 100 stories up, like that's crazy. But some of the stuff they're doing, like no one has any business even thinking of climbing it.
Yeah.
Like there's that one, he's like, this roof was built for climbing it. It was basically just like a straight off ledge. I was like, what do you mean? So yeah, highly recommend checking it out.
Yeah.
Highly recommend it. Now I want to talk about like the undertone of them filming themselves all the time and their relationship because of that.
Yeah. I think that was really kind of bizarre as well, because how I felt watching it, and me and Derek kind of discussed this as we were watching it, is that you saw their whole relationship and it feels just like so public, and also kind of like an invasion of privacy, but they're doing it. They're like broadcasting it all for like everyone to see, but you kind of feel like you're like watching in a window, which I know is like what documentary is, but it just felt like, I don't know, it feels really bizarre. And it's really bizarre to me that people, and I know this isn't like a new thing, like I watch The Housewives, you know, like people put their relationship up for everyone to see all the time.
Yeah.
But it just felt like super personal, and it makes me feel weird about how comfortable people have got putting their whole lives like out there like that.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. It was. I first off, I couldn't get over the narcissism of how much they filmed themselves before they were big, because it makes sense. Like, let's say, just pretend, let's all of a sudden we become big famous podcasters, and let's just say we're famous podcasters, and then at some point, because of that, you start filming yourself. It naturally makes sense if you're really big and famous, right? Like, it does because you're like, oh, like, I'm this public image. Maybe you're making a doc. Like, there's all this stuff that makes sense. But these people were doing that when no one was looking, and it was like so extreme to me, like just everything about how much like she was alone and he was alone, and they were like, they had these huge footprints on Instagram where they're just doing everything for Instagram and filming themselves, and they were alone before they met each other. They were totally alone and just in love with themselves, and it's just a weird thing to see in my, like, that's what I picked up at the start so much.
I mean, I think, like, I get it in terms of if you're doing something that cool, you want to share it. And like all of the things that they're seeing are so spectacular, and for her especially, her thing was, it was an art form, right? Like they got all these like crazy incredible photographs. Like, they're fantastic photographers in general.
They're amazing pictures. They are. You can't deny that.
So I think that's what drew people in. So they were already famous, or she, like, I don't know about him, but he was more famous than her when they started. So they must have both been getting, like, some attention, obviously, which is probably why they were kind of playing into that whole, like, influencer role and recording themselves doing everything. But at the same time, it's just, like, once you're in that kind of role, you have expectations upon you, right? If you want to keep your follower count up, if you want to keep your views up, you have to be doing that constantly.
Well, that's the one thing that about their relationship, outside of the one of, like, I guess that's a very fair point, is like, if it's kind of your thing for your business and stuff, it makes sense why you would kind of roll into that more and more. So that's fair point. But yeah, their actual relationship was based on extreme from the very beginning, but on the highest level of extreme. Like, you're climbing up the side of buildings illegally onto the framework of cranes and shit, and you're like hanging out with one arm hanging off, kind of thing, like that. Like, just so nuts. And that's the beginning. And then, like you said, you have to keep upping the game, because that's how social media works. It's not about what you've done. It's like the next one after you've done that. Yeah. And that's really what this whole doc shows, is you just see these two people that, like, they, as time goes on, each time they do something, it has to get crazier and crazier. And I feel like that's what, I mean, I don't want to spoil it too much, but, like, that's kind of what starts showing, is you see there's, like, a lot of tension in their relationship, because, like, their whole relationship is on top of buildings, really. Like, everything.
100%. And it's also, like, their careers, and it's also incredibly dangerous, and you see them getting, like, calls that their friends that have done it are dying. You know, it's like, it's so intense, because on the one hand you're like, oh, just do something else, but on another hand you're like, you know, they're making a ton of money doing it, it's their livelihood, is what they're passionate about. So it's, I don't know, I really, really enjoyed the documentary. You have, like, a lot of kind of conflicting views, but I think that's what makes a good documentary. And what I appreciated as well is it seemed to be kind of like a lot of it they did themselves, the documentary.
It's really good though. Like I can't recommend it enough. I did think one of the funniest things was like when you meet them at the start, they talk about this like robust, bustling community of people that do what they do, these rooftoppers, and then at like a third, 2/3 or 3/4 of the way through, like it's like a high dramatic point.
Yeah.
And she's like talking to all these people, and they're like, "Yeah, all 20 of our friends that do this are dead."
Yeah.
And you're like sitting there like,
it's
no kidding.
Nuts. Yeah.
Anyhow, that's Skywalker, a love story. It's on Netflix. It's two people like kissing on scaffolding.
Yeah, it's not about Luke Skywalker and his sister. Just to clarify.
Yeah, honestly.
Just to clear things up for everyone there.
I mean, your answer is fair. Okay, so have you heard this? Have you heard this one? They estimate around 50 to 55% of the internet at this point is bots.
50 to 55% of the internet?
Yeah, so at least half. It said
that's insane.
Yeah. It said the 55 was like they wanted to say they think it's more, but they kind of just did like 50 to 55 for this article that said that.
That's so wild.
And the craziest part about that is so more than half the internet is bots that interact with you.
Yeah.
And I still can't get any to interact with our podcast.
You can buy them.
No, I've tried.
You've tried?
I paid them, and you know what? It was a bot. The money just went somewhere. I don't know. Boo. Yeah. Okay, so I want to talk about the mayhem on the C bus. That was my my weekend.
Okay, you tell your story.
Yeah. Okay. So I was down at Waterfront Park, and my buddy Maddie was having a bachelor party. So I had stuff to do, so I was gonna pop in for a couple hours, get home just after fireworks. I have a baby, you know how it is. And anyhow, I go. I'm trying to get on the C bus for, let's say, like 4, I think it was 4:15. What time did I go? 4:15. Yeah, 4:15. And sorry, I'm just a little off my game here because Neve just walked away. So one sec here. Okay, yeah. So like I was gonna go down, do the whole thing. And I get to the C bus, and there's the biggest crowd. I've seen some big crowds. I've been in Olympic crowds. I've seen just kind of when everything's backed up crowds. Like I know big C bus crowds, and this was ridiculous. Like this was out of control. There was, I want to say it was a 4 sailing wait. It was packed up outside into the terminal, and the problem wasn't just there's a ton of people. It was like this giant cone of a giant cone of people. So people were barging in, and whenever a C bus would come, everyone would like push through to get to the front of the line to check in the tickets.
I've never seen a C bus like that.
Yeah, and so I finally get in, and then I'm at like just the start of the terminal. C bus leaves, or another C bus comes. We load on, and then I miss that one. And then the next C bus comes, and they load on another group, and I'm literally at the top of the ramp. When I say I'm front of the line, there's like, let's say like 8 of us maybe, or 4 of us or 5 of us, like across the front of the higher upside ramp there. And there's actually a patrol guy with his hand, like not touching me, but like right in front of me. Okay. And so they're like, whoa. And I was choked because like, God damn it, I missed the C bus. I'm going to have to wait again. So it would have been a 4 sailing wait for me. Okay. And then they wait, and they get everyone through the turnstiles. And a guy at the bottom, he was so dumb. He goes, yeah, we could take about 30 more down here. And there's 2 or 3 security guards and a cop, or transit people and a cop there. And as soon as the guy says that, everyone starts pushing, like not pushing, but like going forward. Yeah. And they're all like, stop. And they're like, everyone stop. And everyone's like, fuck that. And just starts going. And I'm, of course, I would have been, I'm not going to lie, I'm not the guy that starts that. I would have waited. But as soon as that crowd starts going, I start moving with it. I'm not the guy that's like, oh no, we got to do it. I'm like, all right, well, if everyone's going to go, I'm going to go too.
Yeah.
But I can't because literally the security guard is like right in front of me. Like I'd have to like go around him. A few like fake little body shots. Right to his face and then go around him.
Derek gets arrested for assault.
And so all the people, and then the cop goes, everybody stop. And he like yells. So everyone actually finally stops after a long time of them trying to get him. And they were like, okay. And then they let a few of us go because we actually were at the front and couldn't go. So if it wasn't for that, it would have been like I missed it. And then get downtown. And downtown was a mess. There was the bridge. There was a head-on between a fire truck and a motorcycle.
Yeah, I saw that.
That was just stupid. Like, I don't know what... I shouldn't say that was stupid. That was terrible. I don't know what happened with that. That's sad. God rest in peace, the man that died, or woman that died. But it was more just the traffic. Yeah. Everything had to go to the ironworkers. Carrie was supposed to meet me at the C bus. He was 2 hours, like when we got to the park, Carrie had said he was there, like he was at Lonsdale. And then by the time I got to the C bus, he was just getting to the Sealand Towers. So
that's crazy.
And then downtown was just a shit show because there were so many people everywhere. So that was it. That was barely the story. It was more just I couldn't get over how ridiculous the people.
Didn't you like miss all your rezos as well and have to party in a limo?
Yeah, and
it wasn't moving because of the traffic.
Yeah, like it was just a mess. But there's nothing you can do about that.
No, there's not. You gotta have a good time where you are.
Anyhow, it was more just it was fine. It was more just I couldn't get over the people at the C bus. Like it was instantly whenever stuff like that happens because it's huge. First off, it's big crowds, and for some reason, whenever there's big crowds, people panic.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Like they just all of a sudden they're like, people that are rational, normal might just pick, oh, it's crazy. And then also it just makes me think, I'm like, yeah, if anything goes to shit, like I don't know, the power goes out or like even for like a week the water supply like runs short, people just turn on each other in a second.
Well, do you know what I think is really funny is that this is new for Vancouver, but this is also just like city life.
Yeah, it's true.
You know what I mean? Like this, if the same thing were to happen in London, it would be like exactly the same, if not worse. Remember when we were in London and the trains got rerouted or something, or and you just kind of like have to deal with it because it's the city and like you can't do anything else. It's just like Vancouver's finally growing at this point. Like you got to think Vancouver's such a young city, and I've said this for the past 5 years since I've been here. Vancouver is such a young city. It doesn't have the infrastructure to hold the amount of people that now live here. Yeah,
that's true.
And it's finally starting to become that big booming city, but with that comes stuff like traffic and crime and huge homeless population. You know, like these are just things that kind of come along with living in a city.
Absolutely.
It's just Vancouver's just kind of now starting to experience this as it's become a big city.
Okay.
What?
I'm gonna shift gears here to something that was so funny as I was walking Nuo the other day.
Yeah.
Okay, so for people that don't know, Nuo the Blue Heeler, our dog, she's a really good dog. She's super so when we're walking, she basically, all she really wants to do, unless it's a husky, she's only interested in sniffing a dog for a bit. Maybe she'll chase them, but for the most part, she'll sniff a bit or not even acknowledge them. She just wants to play stick or do her own thing. She's a people dog, not a dog.
Yeah, she's not a dog. Yeah.
Yeah, and so what I do, just out of respect, as you should as a dog owner, is if you see someone's dog on leash, you should get your dog on leash too, right? So this woman's dog, is I could just see it, and she's
where were you when this happened?
This was in Mosquito Creek.
Scene. Okay.
Yeah, I was in Mosquito Creek, so just outside our house, just in the little ravine here. We're Upper Mosquito Creek, in case people are confused where I am here. And And I just see her like looking at me with this like look of like, oh no. And so right away I called Nuo. She comes over. I put a leash on her. And we start walking by, and she's like, thanks. Yeah. No, my dog seems pretty good right now, but you just never know with her. And her and Nuo just kind of like looked at each other as nothing. Yeah. Right? But as she said that, she had the biggest like, or she like looked at me and she was like, yeah, no, you just never know. I was like, oh yeah, no, my dog's really friendly. She's no problem. And she just was like, yeah, mine too. And it's like clearly her dog isn't friendly.
Yeah.
And it just must suck to have the dog that isn't friendly.
Well, I mean, Nua never used to be friendly.
Yeah, but I can explain all of that away personally.
Okay.
Well, do you want to know why?
Well, I know why. But at the same time, like, we were that person once.
Yeah,
but... like, oh, it sucks because our dog isn't the most friendly dog.
It did, but Nuo was still a little baby. So, like, it wasn't like, it's just for people that didn't know.
She was never aggressive.
She was never aggressive, but she's a blue heeler. So they do have, like, they're more, like, bitey, like, teethy kind of dogs. Yeah. But you've done a good job at the very beginning of getting that out of her.
Thank you.
But, so, like, she over COVID didn't meet any other dogs for so long.
And the only she did meet other dogs, but they would always just go for her.
Yeah, they just beat her up because I think
she was a runt as well.
Yeah, she was a runt, and also like, yeah, so she just had really bad experiences. So as she got a bit older, she only knew how to interact with dogs like on the defensive. Yeah. So if a dog would come up to her, she instantly was like, this guy's going to fuck me up. Like, it actually made me so sad how many dogs would beat her up at the beginning.
Yeah.
And so, like, anyhow, she's good now. Like, she's fine. But, yeah, I get the idea of that. Like, I've been there. But the thing was, her dog wasn't a puppy. Yeah. Like, a small, young dog, what
kind of dog was it?
It was actually, bizarrely, a yellow lab.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, but I was just thinking, like, her size, she was so disappointed, and I was just like, yeah, that must suck her. There was one dude that his corgi was hyper aggressive.
Yeah, and I've heard that about corgis, though.
Oh, yeah, they're like fucking little shits. They're like Nuo, but they have small man syndrome. Yeah, and he had to literally, the dude was like, it was like, and he was like, no, and he had to like literally pick it up as it like, it would have ripped or like tried to fight me if it could. Like, it was like in that zone.
Small man syndrome, but for dogs. It's true. The little ones are always so freaking yappy.
Always. All right. So yeah, I thought that was a nice little change of pace. What's the main point of that is small dogs are yappy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never trust a dog.
Okay. This is a funny one. So I called Dax, and Dax has changed the settings on his Apple Maps or whatever to an Indian voice.
I know that.
Right?
Yeah.
So when I called him to leave and it went to voicemail, I wasn't leaving a voicemail. It just happened to like stay on, and I couldn't push off. It's an Indian guy.
Yeah. Is it actually?
Yeah, I don't know if Dax even knows.
He's like, please leave for Dax.
Like, please leave a message. Thank you.
That's so good.
It was so funny.
I kind of want to call him now to hear it, but I also don't want him to pick up because I'll just be like, oh.
I wasn't calling you.
I was like, I was like, can you not answer next time?
Okay, and then I'm just trying to think here. I've got. Should I say these last ones, or do you want to do one more thing? Do you want to?
Do you want to do buy sell?
Yeah, well, I'm just thinking this last one. Okay, you know what? Yeah, we'll save that one. Let's just go right on to the buy and sell here. Yeah, okay. All right, on to our next segment here. Everybody, welcome back. Do you want to need to do any plugs for any stuff?
I feel like I had one.
I'll do a plug right now.
Oh, wait, me first. Okay, so there's this cider company. It's a local cider company called Ward's Estate Cidery. And they do all like really funky cider flavors. And I only noticed because I went into Save-On and they just had them for like special or something. But so the ones we had this week, we had a mimosa cider and a pina colada cider. And I've also had a passion fruit margarita. No, passion fruit martini.
That was my favorite one.
Yeah, it was really good.
That one was really good.
And then they also have a Negroni one.
Whoa.
But I don't like Negronis.
Ew. Negroni cider?
Well, you haven't tried it, so...
Oh, Negroni is the only thing that makes me smash my fist on a table at a restaurant.
But you still order them.
Touche.
So yeah, but they have like these funky cider flavors, and my favorite's the pina colada, because if you don't know me, I'm fucking obsessed with coconut. Love everything coconut. So the pina colada one is my favorite, and they're 6.5%.
Wow, for a tall can too, that'll get you.
Like for a tallie. So they only come in 4 packs.
Do you think your parents would like those?
Yeah, I was telling my mom about them earlier.
Your dad wouldn't.
My dad might. He might like the Negroni one.
He would. He for sure. Well, I don't know. I still haven't tried it.
My mom wouldn't like the pina colada because she doesn't like coconut, but I think she'd like the mimosa one, and I think she'd like the passion fruit one. She doesn't drink them too much because sugar content, and she's diabetes. So I
think we should have a contest. Sorry.
What?
I skipped your plug.
No, that was just my plug. Wait, let me say the name again. Ward's Estate Cidery. When my parents come out, we should do a podcast with them whilst drinking this.
Non-official sponsor of today's episode. And on to our next unofficial sponsor of today's episode. Organics, your natural solution. BioCell Collagen. Do you find you are looking old and wrinkly? Do you wish you had a little more zest in your life? Well, healthy skin is the way to go. And BioCell Collagen is the guaranteed way to make your skin look healthy. Are your joints in pain? Do you need them relieved? Still use this product for that. Do you have a loose, flappy butthole? Unfortunately, BioCell Collagen. Unfortunately, BioCell Collagen will not help with that, but it will help make your skin around your loose, flappy butthole look younger. Back to the show.
Stupid.
I was thinking of this just now, and I wish I had put this at the start. Mm-hmm. We should have a contest. Okay. If you know what? Actually, here, this is the contest. If you've listened to us this long, at the end of the pod,
thank you.
So yes, thank you. Wow.
Thank you.
Wow.
Please listen to us more.
Thank you so much. If you leave, I'm gonna put up a poll, and I'm gonna put up a poll of the 4 ham smash burgers I've made.
Oh,
okay.
Shit, yeah.
So
I can't believe we haven't talked about the smash burgers.
Yeah. So why don't we talk about them after I put up...
why don't we talk about them right here,
Well, we will.
now.
I'm just going to... So listen, we're going to talk about them. We're going to plug these. Yeah. And so if you see, I'm going to put up a poll. It'll have the 4 burgers, and you can vote on them based on the name, because I can't put the description of what they're in them. And then you leave a comment saying, I listened until the end, which you might be able to lie, but you've listened to at least this far in. With that comment, then I will give you the list of the ingredients, and you can have the burgers. That's a pretty good deal, right? Yeah. So let's talk about these burgers. Oh, they're so freaking good.
They are really good. So for anyone who knows Derek and I as a couple probably is aware that I do like 99% of the cooking, because I refuse to let Derek cook, because when we initially started dating, he was a burner.
I
burned a few things.
I made the gyoza crispy on one side, and Neve was like, "You burnt everything."
They were black.
Okay.
What's
the point of you saying this? What did get to the point? Okay. This is about hamburgers.
Well, you're the one who brought it up.
I didn't. You did.
But what I was going to say is, I don't allow Derek to cook unless it's 1, taco kits, or 2.
Okay, I was actually gonna get mad if you didn't say taco kits.
I was gonna say taco kits.
Okay. Oh yeah, no, I'm fine. I'm fine with that.
I mean, yeah.
I'm really good.
But 2, Derek makes really fucking good burgers.
Really,
good. Anything on the barbecue, Derek is grill master. I won't let him cook, but he is grill master.
Okay, I'm gonna say this, so I can barbecue well. Like, I'm a good barbecuer. I'm not the best. Like both Matt and Zach are there. Well, I guess that's smoking, but they're like, or at least Zach. Matt's a good smoker. Zach is actually a good barbecuer. I'm not saying I'm bad, but Zach could do all the meats really well. I can do them good, but my burgers. Yeah, your burgers. Because I also remember, for those that don't know, I want to say probably about I spent 2 summers. So it was 2 summers and then a little bit. I want to say I basically, let's say, spent about 8 months to a year working at a Vera Burger on Lonsdale. So I like literally made hamburgers all the time. Yeah. So I want to read out the burgers. Okay, so these are the burgers. There's 4 of them I have so far, okay?
Yeah.
So we have the bun we use is just a traditional Safeway hamburger bun. Yeah. So there I'm gonna riff about burgers a bit here.
Okay, you do your thing, babe.
Okay, so you can't have like a Portuguese bun or a Kaiser bun for a burger. They soak up too much and it becomes a soggy mess. I don't know what it is about like an actual hamburger bun, but it's the best bun for keeping the burger just like for what a burger is. It is.
So it's called a burger bun.
Yeah, it is, and I don't know what it is, but it actually matters just for people that don't know. Okay, so the barbecue burger is half pork, half beef. And then what I do is I fry onions, put some bacon on top on my patties. Just so you know, all my patties are seasoned with, like, my patties aren't just seasoned. I'm not going to fucking tell you. Nice try. Nice try. So then I fry onions and bacon, and then I put them on top of so I flip the burger, and then when I flip it, I put them on top. Barbecue sauce on top of that, and then I put a blanket of provolone, and then we put it and then I put a little bowl over it so it melts the cheese on top of it. So you have like everything is underneath the cheese, so it's all like nice and crisp in there.
It's a cheese blanket.
And then it's a cheese blanket. Yes, thank you. And then you put barbecue sauce and mayonnaise. Now a big thing with these is I've been telling Neve this. The way they are, I'll make slight exceptions, but I'm not allowing like lettuce, tomato, and onion and all that stuff as toppings unless it's like called for in the said burger.
Yeah.
So that's the barbecue burger. Then we have the mushroom back bacon burger. Now, what would you think of that one?
Bussin'. That's my favorite. That's my favorite burger that you've made so far.
That one was pretty fucking good.
It was so good.
Yeah, I'm torn. The barbecue is my favorite all time, but that one was the mushroom bacon back. So it's fried mushrooms, back bacon, so the rounds of bacon for those that don't know, and then Havarti put blanket over top of it to keep it all in. Yum pickles, which are sweeter little sliced circle pickles, mayo and Dijon on the bun, and it's double pattied. Yeah, that's a big key to it. Is these are smash burgers too, just so people know. And the way I like to do them is crispy. So it's nice and crispy, thin slices. Yeah. I'm pretty sure, I didn't measure it out, but I'd say it's about 6 ounces of meat we ate in the double patty. And
yeah, it wasn't a lot of meat. It was one, because we got the patties from Meridian Farms, and then that was divided into 2.
So
they were just one.
I want to say they were about 6 ounces as a normal burger patty, and I just split that into 2, smashed them, and then put it together. Yeah. So that's the double patty, and then we had the ABC burger, avocado, back bacon, cheese, garlic mayo, and that's double patty.
That was fucking awesome.
That was really good. The only thing I'd change is the garlic, but we discussed that. So that was good. That Neve had that. I didn't have that one. And then I had the crispy jalapeno burger, which is avocado. Or no, wait, no, I didn't put avocado on it, did I? No, I didn't. So I just had what was the cheese?
It was Havarti.
Havarti cheese for the last 2. Back bacon, and then jalapeno poppers that I deep fried. And that's also double patty. So if you have listened this long and you've heard that, you have the crispy jalapeno burger, the ABC burger, the mushroom back bacon, and barbecue burger. If you vote and say I listened this long or something along the lines of you've listened in the comments, I will cook you any of those burgers.
What she gets? 0 burger request.
Well,
I was listening.
that'll be fine too because it'll save us money and time.
Well, yeah, but also, I'll have a burger.
Well,
You should just, you know what you should do? You should make all the burgers in preparation for everyone that listens.
and I get disappointed.
And then get disappointed and I'll eat them all.
Okay. You
They
know
are
what?
really good.
So yeah, that's good. Sorry about that little tangent I went on there, but I'm super pumped on those burgers.
Those burgers are really, really freaking good.
Okay.
I will give you that.
Okay, so now we are going to move on to the buy or sell, and I actually have a good list for us here.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I know.
Nick, can you pour me more wine?
Oh,
please?
more wine. Oh, I thought you were saying the time.
No, I wasn't saying the time. I was saying pour me more wine.
There we go. I'll have
Thank
some
you.
more too, because it's Thursday.
This is Thursday, baby.
Friday for me.
That's the weekend.
All right. So are your parents here when?
So my mom gets here 3 weeks tomorrow. And then my dad is there, I think, 2 weeks after that,
We'll
or a
for
week
sure
after
have
that.
to have them on the pod. They'll
Well,
be our
do you know
first guest
what?
on
We should
PanCake
just
Friday.
we should do a pod in Penticton with both of our parents.
That would be really fun.
I think that would be super fun.
Super fun. And we have to get Marge to have some drinks with us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Marge, when she's a little bit tipsy, is so fucking funny.
I know.
I don't think I've ever seen her tipsy before.
Oh yeah, she's not very often. It happens. To be
No,
fair.
but it was fucking awesome.
Marge.
She was so
Shout out to
fun.
Pioneer Marge.
Pioneer Marge. I would take her to the bar with my girls and we would just have a riot.
Maybe go to England, do that. I'm sure she'd like that.
Oh yeah, her, me, and my mom would trio. Be awesome.
So okay, ready for here we go with the buy and sell.
Okay, let's go.
Taco kits.
We already did the taco kits.
We did?
We did buy and sell taco. Wait, did we do buy and sell taco kits? No, we mentioned the 2-person taco kit.
This is buy or sell.
Okay, sorry. Taco kits, buy. Quick, easy dinner.
Yeah, buy for me as well.
The only thing you can cook.
Skywalker, a love story. Buy or sell?
I'd buy.
Buy.
Even though he didn't kiss his sister.
Yeah. Talking about different things, but yeah, I'll buy that as well. Iced coffee, buy or sell?
100% buy. I always get iced coffee.
Yeah, I also get iced coffee. Breakfast.
Your buy and sells are very basic things this week.
Yeah, I know. I'm just starting off.
Oh, okay. This is just a start?
Well, no. I'm just getting into the rhythm of doing buy and sell.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, breakfast, buy every time. I'd have breakfast for like 3 meals a day. If
Sell. That's for me an easy sell.
Sell?
Quite frankly, I wish breakfast didn't exist. Not the food.
Wait. Okay. Are you talking about eating early or about breakfast food? Because if you...
Okay, I'll define... No, breakfast as in like eating in the morning breakfast, not the food.
Oh, no. Yeah, no. Sell that.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. No, like I don't have any beef with breakfast food. I'm not like, oh, like bacon and eggs sucks. Not that. I'm just saying like breakfast as a morning.
No, I'm the same as I don't like eating as soon as I wake up or early. It just doesn't sit well. I normally wake up, have my nap, and then I'll eat. So it's normally around.
I literally don't need to eat for an entire day if I have to do stuff.
Well, you say that, but you should. You should eat in the day.
E-bikes, buy or sell?
Sell.
Yeah, I'm full hard sell on them. I even have, you know what? Like my dad obviously had heart issues.
Yeah.
So he explained to me why he liked an e-bike was because he could go for his bike ride because he always monitors heart on his Apple Watch.
Yeah.
So he could go for a bike and he could do a heart because like when you have heart issues, it's not like you can't do things. It's like sometimes your heart might like, say you're going on a long bike ride after you've had a heart attack.
Yeah.
You might be fine, but you might get to a point where it starts straining your heart.
Yeah.
So it's not like you can't do stuff. And he was like, well, what if I'm 5K out of a 10K bike ride or I'm 10K out on a 5K out on a bike ride and my heart starts going. I can now just push a button and bike home. So I do have a heart for the e-bike, but I do think that most people get the fuck off your e-bike and actually bike if you're gonna bike.
I just hate all bikers.
No. I don't know. I like bikers because I am a biker. I'm like a biker slash car driver. I know I don't have a bike right now, but I bike like a fuckload around this city.
I know that you did bike a lot when we first met, when you had a bike, and now you don't have one, so you don't do it as much.
Yeah, my derailleur broke, or else I'd bike. Like even now, I'd bike a lot of places.
Oh, you bike to work 100% every day. No?
No, it's too. I wouldn't bike to work because I get too sweaty too easy.
But it's like 5 minutes.
Yeah, but it's so you know how you go down the hill, so you drop down. And then to get to work, I can't take the highway. If I could take the highway, it wouldn't be too bad. Like I could for sure in the morning rip down, take the side of the highway, get up. But I have to go down to
23rd.
Is that what it is? Yeah, 23rd.
Yeah.
And that is like you have to drop down and you have to go up.
Yeah.
And it's not even like it's like, oh, it's so hard. It's enough for me to start sweating, guaranteed.
Do you know one of my colleagues bikes from Kits Solano to Pemberton to work.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, to Pemberton on Marine.
Yeah.
I was thinking.
To Pemberton, like.
I was like, surely they could find a job between Pemberton and here that they could get.
But still, that's a
decent. Yeah,
bike,
Colin's from Kits, one of the physios I work with. There's a lot of bike people. Honestly, biking is so fun. Like the only things I don't like about biking is my derailleur's broken, and I fucking hate biking alongside cars. It's not the cars. I just don't like. I'm not like sitting there like, oh, they're such bad drivers. Well, there is bad drivers, but it's more just like, it's not settling being on your bike next to traffic.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with like bad or good or whose bikes are bad. It's just like if you're on a little bike next to a whole bunch of cars, it's just not.
No,
cool.
that's fair because as a driver, I hate people that bike.
Yeah, I do too. I hate when I'm biking. I'm like, or driving. I'm like, fucking bikers. And then I get on my bike. I'm like, goddamn drivers. But I'm definitely e-bikes. Go fuck yourself. Honestly, with rare exception, stop being a lazy fuck.
Honestly, I've yelled at bikers.
Like honestly, even people that are like, well, I use it as a commuter to work. Well, shut the fuck up and bike. Like I can tell you right now, every single time I'd have to, because I'm a casual summer biker. I don't bike everywhere. It was just in the summer. It's like fun and it's nice. You get outside. Everything I did, no matter how far, how long, 3 bikes and your body can do it. And that doesn't mean that you're like, oh, it's so easy. But like after 3 bikes, you're not going to have this like grueling, like, oh, it's so hard. You'll be able to just do it. And then it won't be a big deal. And with time, you'll be like, oh, it's actually easy to bike like 10 or 15K. Like just stop being lazy. E-bikes is a hard fucking sell.
I mean, do you know what's actually really funny? Sorry, I'm going a bit off topic with this. But it's so funny you talk about biking in the city because when I was a kid, biking was the only way to get somewhere before you get your driver's license, right? So I grew up in the middle of buttfuck nowhere, Somerset, and you would bike to the next village along. And you're talking about like 10, 15K. I'm like, yeah, that's probably about the next like village along. So it's just...
See, like and
I haven't ridden a bike in like fucking forever though. But when I was a kid,
but it'd be so fucked biking on those skinny ass roads on a bike.
It is
like,
fucked. Yeah,
there's no room for cars. So if you have a bike and cars, okay. Now this one you'll only really know if you're a parent. The diaper genie, buy or sell.
I mean, sell, but also buy.
What?
Because
what? So you can't. It's buy or sell. You can't do buy and sell.
Okay. If I can't do buy and sell, then I would buy.
Okay. But why is there this dispute?
But there's a dispute because when you open it, it fucking stinks.
But true.
Also, that's what's good about a diaper genie is as soon as you close it, the smell goes. And I think with a regular bin, it would just smell all the time, like stanky.
Okay, so for those that aren't parents, a diaper genie it's like a garbage can.
I think it's pretty self-explanatory.
No, it's not. A diaper genie?
Yeah, you put diapers in the diaper genie.
It has like
it's an trash can.
Okay, it's a trash can that opens like normal when you press on it, but there's a lid that instead of opening up, it like opens down into the can. and then you put the diaper in, and then when you close the like what would be the normal and it drops, the one underneath goes up, so it like clamps the smell, so it can't escape. First off, shout out to Gabe for getting our diaper genie.
Shout out to Gabe for that. That's one of the best baby things.
Well, it is a really good gift for sure, but I was more shouting it out because for all the footy fans out there, it has a Tottenham logo, but instead of their shitty bird, the Totten sparrow or whatever they call that dumb bird, it's instead of it standing on their shield, it's standing on a whole bunch of shit. So it's shout out to that. Tottenham sucks. Okay, so that
wait, were you a buy or sell on the diaper genie?
Hard buy. Like honestly, I don't even think you need a baby for one.
What would you put in it?
Poop.
Just
you just poop into it.
Fuck flushing.
We're trying to save the planet, and we're flushing all this water down the drain. Meanwhile, I'm saving it by pooping into a bag.
I just poop in my hand and put it in the bag.
I poop into a bag and put it in a landfill to save the planet. Okay, I don't know if I should say this one. This isn't a buy or sell. This is just a weird thing that I thought was hilarious.
Okay.
I don't know. Should I say this? Wait, let's finish buy and sell. Okay, so now this is our buy and sells of the week. Okay. So for those of you that don't are like, what do you mean? So buy and sells, we just have things you buy and selling on. Buy and sell of the week is the ones where we talk about something we would buy and sell, and it's just anything. So Neve, last week you bought Penticton Family Weekend and sold Sunrise at 5 a.m. Getting Up with a Baby.
Yeah.
What are your buy and sells of the week?
Okay, buy Canadian healthcare.
Okay, cool.
Sell.
Sorry, can I ask why buy Canadian healthcare?
Buy Canadian healthcare. So if it's for this week, in general, I don't think the Canadian healthcare system is great.
Yeah.
But this week, the Canadian healthcare system got me my medication exactly when I needed it.
Okay, yeah, that's a big buy. That's a big buy.
So
yeah, absolutely.
I get regular infusions, and I had an infusion this week, and the difference that it makes is incredible.
Absolutely.
Like, you think of me at the beginning of this week compared to now.
Yeah.
Like, worlds apart.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I got that for free from the Canadian healthcare system. So let's fucking buy that.
As much as the healthcare system has a ton of issues, you got to give it props when it does its job well. Yep.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
So, this week, buy Canadian healthcare. Sell. Just the biological structure of humans.
Okay, so sell human biology.
Yeah.
So, okay, why?
Because why can't babies just fucking grow their teeth when they're already inside you? Do you know what I mean? Like, that's such poor design on human biology's part.
Well, like, I'm just going to imagine it's tough enough to force a baby out of your vagina, let alone if it has teeth.
Well, it's not like the baby's going to bite you on the way out.
Yeah, but it might be like, ooh, with like its teeth and just like, ooh, drag along or something like that. I don't know.
Sorry, you had to see Derek's face for that. But yeah, the baby is teething right now. It's really horrible. She's in a lot of pain. She's got a fever, and it's a whole kerfuffle. So I'm like, why don't we just keep them in there a bit longer and wait till they've made their teeth? You know?
Yeah. Okay.
So fucking hard sell on human biology. We're doing it wrong, guys.
Okay. My buy of the week was the French onion burger from Bridge that I hadn't had in a month or so. And my sell is a great one. Grandpa's in Heat.
Oh, yeah.
If you remember, sadly the grandpa died at
Womp womp.
At the Penticton race there. What's it called? The Fondo. Okay. So my buy of the week is the weather cooling off a bit here. I'm just gonna be straight up with you. I don't complain about the rain ever. Like, you never hear me
No,
complain
you
about
don't.
the rain. I love the rain. I'm not gonna say I don't like the summer, because it obviously is fun to do all the summer activities
Yeah.
and stuff. But the heat, like, I think most of us can agree that 30 degrees, even for me, like, when we get into like, oh, it's only 25 out, it's not that bad. For me, that's like already, I'm like, it's pretty fucking hot out.
See, I actually quite enjoy the heat, but when you have an AC to go home to.
Yeah.
Do you know, like when we were in Penticton, I didn't mind being out at all.
No.
Because I know when we got home, there was AC.
Okay, what was the temperature when you guys were out? It was like 40 degrees almost, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was 38. Yeah. But I felt okay, like, walking around in that. Like, I had water, I had my sunscreen on, I was like, whatever. And I really enjoy, like, heat in general. But I would not enjoy it as much if we had to go home to, like, this apartment where we don't have AC. Do you know what I mean?
Well, but we do. Like, if we
we have
in
AC in our
but
room,
okay,
but
yeah,
like
I
if
get what
we're
you
just like
if
we'd
we're
have
out
to go into
here.
our room to use it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, fair. Okay. Yeah, and then my sell of the week is, it's just got to be crowds, like 500,000 estimated downtown Vancouver. It's just too many people. To be fair, I've never really been a big fan of crowds.
Yeah.
Like, I hated downtown growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Part of it was, I'm not a big fan of loud music and like the way that like the clubs in Granville always is.
Yeah.
But I've never really liked crowds, and then I think naturally as you get older, you're not a big fan of crowds as well.
I found that.
So it's kind of a double, because like I don't know. It's just crazy. So we're walking down Davie to get to Davie Denman for our missed steak dinner. And first off, it was ridiculous. We were the only people in all of downtown Vancouver that weren't going to the fireworks that was walking to Davie to Granville or Denman.
I mean.
Like, literally no one else. The cops at points were like, because we would be going kind of like, I don't want to say counterflow to the traffic of everyone, but like they were like, no, go this way, the fireworks, and we were like, no, we're not going there. And you could tell they were like, what the fuck are these people doing here?
It was kind of poor planning to have that bachelor party on the weekend of the fireworks.
It really was terrible planning, but I'm not gonna fault them, because I wouldn't have looked either. Like, I wouldn't have been like, if I was, because what they did, I guess, is they asked like the group what worked
when everyone was free.
So that's when everyone was free, and like clearly no one knew. So you can't really fault them. I actually felt bad, because if you're planning it and that happens, you I don't want to say feel shitty, because like it was a good time, but like, like you're like, things didn't go to plan, specifically like we missed dinner and stuff. But again, you can't fault them.
They probably just have poor planning skills.
Yeah.
Like honestly.
Fair. But yeah, like, I don't know. First off, every block or 2 blocks, I can't remember, it was for sure 2 blocks, but if not every block, had dump trucks lined so that there could be no one ramming cars through the groups. Because think of it, this is a thing now. Like, if there's a big group of people, I'm not saying like,
that's when you know your city's becoming a city, when they're scared of terrorists.
Yeah, they're scared of terrorists. And then there was cops. This is just one thing I hate, is there was cops with fucking, I don't know, they're not M4s. I don't know.
But they're big fat guns.
I don't know if they're M4s. They're definitely not AR-15s, but they kind of look like they're like assault rifles,
big fat
right?
Guns.
Yeah, and I get it. Like, I'm not afraid of guns. I'm not afraid of guns, but I just, you don't. If you need guns out, like if you need the
it puts you on edge.
If you need the visible force of guns being out, that says something. And like you said, to your point, it's a smaller city, it's getting bigger, that's normal. But like the city I grew up in, you didn't have that presence. So
but this isn't the city.
I know. I'm not like, oh, I'm just saying, like, for me to be like, I can remember like all my 20s going to the fireworks, and you would see fights and stuff all the time. There'd always be huge fights, but it was never like this kind of thing. So that's my sell of the week: big crowds.
Oh, I have another sell.
Sure, I'll give you 2 this week.
Okay, people getting stabbed on Granville.
Yeah, stabbings.
Hard,
I'm just gonna put
hard
hard
sell.
sell and stabbings.
Hard sell and stabbings.
Stabbings.
Like, if you're gonna do crime, just, like, don't do stabbings. Because stabbings just make, like, my skin crawl. Like, yeah. I could deal with a shooting, but don't you dare stab.
Yeah, that I agree. That
yeah.
The stabbing is gnarly. Yeah, is that good? Anything else you want to say?
No.
All right. Well, everybody, happy Friday. We hope you enjoyed. If you're still listening to us, again, thank you, and comment about the burgers and check out the poll and say which ones you want. I will gladly cook you some burgers.
Happy Pancakes
Friday.